I'm excited to announce the opening of a new Facebook community for the Master Your Mindset, Master Your Life podcast. And this is to get a group of like minded individuals to get together, to push themselves, to actually hold each other accountable, and to level up their lives. I talk about making a positive impact in the world, and this is how I'm hoping to do that. So if you're interested in joining, jump on Facebook, look for Master Your Mindset, Master Your Life, and see if you can join the group. Otherwise, drop me a DM on Instagram at just.live.coaching and I'll send you the link. How many times have you made a mistake and you've berated yourself for it? You've insulted yourself, you've given yourself digs, and these are things you wouldn't say to anyone that you actually loved. Welcome to Master Your Mindset, Master Your Life. This is a podcast that empowers you to take back control of your life, to unlock your true potential, and to help you become the best version of yourself. I'm Sand, and today we're talking about why we need to learn to forgive ourselves when we make a mistake. At the end of the day, we are our own worst enemies. And it's true, when we start to make mistakes, we go at ourselves fully. We can insult ourselves. Some people will go as far as to hit themselves. So when we make a mistake, why are we so harsh on ourselves? It's terrible, because actually what we don't realize is everything that we say to ourselves, everything that we think about ourselves, our mind is processing and taking that to be true. So when we're telling ourselves that we're stupid, we're dumb, or we're bad at something, that's what our mind is taking on board. So, mistakes, they're just little bumps on the road of life, but we turn these bumps into mountains, especially when they're our own. We're wired for progress, and mistakes feel like a step back, but even the most magnificent paintings, let's go with, began with a single brushstroke. We struggle with perfectionism and fearing mistakes because we fear that it will undermine our worth. We fear that if we actually make a mistake, people will catch us out for being a fraud in some way. People will judge us. And the worst thing is we'll say things to ourselves. I know that people wouldn't say half these things that they say to themselves, or I used to say to myself. I wouldn't say it to anyone else. And why would I say it to someone I love? If I love someone, why would I say it to them? And if I wouldn't say it to them, why would I say it to myself? Why do I not love myself? So 4 reasons that we actually put on our punishment hats, the 4 ways we do it, is we just start with negative self-talk. Our mind, it becomes a courtroom, and we're just a harsh judge. We just talk so negatively to ourselves, and we'll just berate ourselves with it. We'll start telling ourselves things like we're stupid. Oh, we're so bad at this. I don't know why we are in this position. Oh, I don't know why we're doing this, behaving like that. And we'll start diminishing our confidence in ourselves by this negative self-talk. So then when we do make a mistake, the next form of punishment that we give ourselves is by dwelling on it. So you'll say you can't go to sleep because you're just dwelling on the way you handled some conversation. You'll be replaying it like a broken record in your mind. But that doesn't achieve anything. We dwell on it. It could even be for days, months, years. How many times do you still look back at something you've done previously and it still makes you cringe? You're still dwelling on it. But where does it actually get you? What's done is done. You cannot change it. The next thing is, when we make mistakes, it can paralyze us, and that can make us hesitate to take the next step. And that's when procrastination will set in. And we become stuck and we just do not move forward. We cannot move forward because the mistake, we're just fearful of taking it again. We're taking that step forward and making that same mistake. So then we just get stuck in our ways. We don't move forward. We don't move back. And we just in limbo. And the fourth way we actually punish ourselves is by actually seeking external validation. We may seek validation from others just to counterbalance our perceived failure. But actually, even if someone says, yeah, you didn't do too badly, that's only a fleeting remedy. If it's in your mind, that's what you need to work on. Someone else externally saying will be a momentary breath of fresh air. But the moment you walk away from that moment, you'll still be in your mind. But this is a problem. We struggle to forgive ourselves. We struggle to show ourselves compassion. We will show everyone else in the world compassion and forgiveness, but we won't show it to ourselves. We won't be kind to ourselves. When we actually show ourselves compassion, it's actually like healing balm. It actually helps us heal the wounds that we inflict on ourselves. It allows us to acknowledge the mistakes that we've made without attaching our self-worth to it. Can you imagine that actually taking that time, taking 10, 15, 20 minutes to actually forgive yourself and show yourself some compassion? That means that you won't be dwelling over the issue in 5, 10, 15, 20 years. You won't be attaching what your current value to something you did 5 years ago. And so you need to learn how to forgive yourself. You need to learn how to actually show yourself compassion. And the first way is by bringing yourself to the present moment, where mistakes are lessons, they're not life sentences. When you realize that actually that mistake was a lesson for you, you can move forward with it. You don't have to carry that mistake around with you like a ball and chain. Yeah, when you're in the present moment, those mistakes, as I said, they're just lessons. There's something from you to learn from. So you can learn from it and move on. Leave it in the past where it belongs. You don't need to keep bringing it up. You don't need to keep reliving it. Just remember, once you've learned that lesson, that moment of your life can actually be forgotten about. It can be brought up if you need to learn the lesson again. But again, if you need to learn it again, I'm sure you will make a mistake that will teach you that lesson again. Second thing is, you can actually change your narrative. You, instead of thinking that you failed, you can try, I learned. As I said, mistakes are lessons. You learned something. When you make such a simple tweak, it has huge effects on your mind, because you're not looking at it as a negative thing. You're turning it into that positive viewpoint where you actually got something out of that moment. The next thing is actually to embrace your imperfection. Perfection is a mirage. Embrace the imperfections, because those small mistakes that you made, those small things that you've done wrong, those are the things that make you human. They make you unique. Those are the things that someone may love about you, that because you're not perfect, because you'd make those silly mistakes. Yeah, and if someone else can love you for them, you should be able to love yourself too. In fact, you should love yourself for making silly mistakes, but as long as you're learning from them. Realize, as I said, it's a journey. It's constant learning. Life is one big lesson, and you need to pick up every single lesson that you can out of it. All these smaller lessons within it, you can pick them up. You can use them and change your life with it. Treat yourself as well with kindness. Show yourself the same kindness you'd show a friend who had fallen down, who had stumbled, someone who had made a mistake and wanted to pick themselves back up. When you start to treat yourself with that kind of kindness, you will see how much difference it makes in your life, because you're not talking negatively to yourself. You're showing yourself that love, that compassion, and you're going to actually move forward with it because you're in a better place. And I mean, it kind of goes without saying, but use it as an opportunity to learn and grow. Celebrate those lessons. Yeah, when you do something right, when you've learned from that lesson, celebrate it. Realize that, yeah, I've learned my lesson. I'm going to keep going forward with this. Because every time that you keep taking a step forward, every time you learn from a lesson, you will notice that you're actually becoming the better version of yourself. Yeah, life's canvas is painted with triumphs and mishaps. So when you learn to forgive yourself, it turns those mishaps into strokes of wisdom and resilience. It helps you push yourself and become that masterpiece of who you really are. So thank you for joining me today. And if you enjoyed this episode and got something from it, please let me know. Drop me a DM at just.live.coaching on my Instagram. My mission is to make a positive impact on this world. And I sincerely hope you can help me do that by liking, by following, and share this podcast with others who could hear this message. Remember that your mindset shapes your reality. When you master it, you will master your life. Thank you.